Hello, and welcome to this lesson of our C Programming Foundations tutorial series. I'm Reza, and I'm happy to have you join me on this journey to mastering the C programming language. Okay, so let's talk about something called a struct in C programming, which is basically a shorthand for structure. Imagine you've got a bunch of different bits of information, like a name, age, and ID number, and you want to keep them all together in one neat package. That's what structs are for. They let you bundle up different types of data under one name, kind of like creating a custom container for your data. Here's the key points on structs. 1. Definition, how to make one. You start with the word struct, give it a name, and then inside curly braces, you list out the stuff you want to put inside. These are your member variables. It's like writing a recipe for what your struct should contain. 2. Creating instances using your struct. Once you've described what's in your struct, you can make instances of it. It's like saying, hey, I've got this blueprint for a struct, now let's make an actual thing based on that blueprint. You do this pretty much the same way you declare a regular variable. So, structs are super handy when you want to group different pieces of data together and treat them as a single unit. They're like creating a custom data type that's tailored exactly to what you need. 3. Initialization. Usually when you make a new struct, you could start with it being empty and then add in the details one by one. But initializing directly when creating an instance is like moving into a fully furnished house instead of an empty one. You've got everything you need right from the start. For example, say you have a struct for a person. Normally, you'd create the person and then tell the program their name, age, and height. But with direct initialization, you're doing it all in one shot. As soon as you say, here's a new person, you're also saying, their name is this, their age is that, and they're this tall. 4. Accessing members. Alright, let's dive into how you can get into details of a struct, specifically how you can access its different parts. For example, let's say you've got a struct for a person and you want to see or change their name. If your person's struct is named person1 and the name is one part of it, you use person1.name to access that specific part. It's like saying, hey, I want to see or change the name in my person1 struct. And if you want to update their age, you use person1.age, directing your code right to the age part of your person1 struct. So basically, the dot operator is your way of being super specific about which part of the struct you want to work with, whether you're just taking a look or changing what's inside. It's a super handy tool for navigating through the different pieces of data grouped together in your struct. Alright, so we've got this neat little C program where we're going to keep track of some book info. We're using this thing called a struct to hold all the details about the book, like its title, author, when it was published, and how much it costs. Here's what we do in the program. First up, we set up a struct called book. It's like a form with spaces to fill in the book's title, the author's name, the year it was published, and the book's price. 2. Then we make a variable. Let's call it book1, and it's going to be of the type book, that struct we just made. 3. Now, we're going to ask the user to tell us about the book. We use this thing called fgets to get the book's title and the author's name. It's cool because it can handle spaces, like if the title is more than one word. For the year and price, we just use scanf, which works great for numbers. 4. Once we've got all that info, the program is going to show us everything we entered about book1e. It just prints out all the details we put into our book struct. So, in short, we're taking a bunch of book details, storing them in a neat package, and then showing off what we've got. It's a simple way to see how structs help us keep things organized in programming. Here is a code challenge for you to get more practice, a simple 2-entry phone book.